Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes, Start Your Morning Right. I'm Marlene Cuellar, and thank you for joining us. It is Thursday morning. It is the 1st of April, and it is the day before the Easter break. I know some of you started early. Some of you took the day off today, and you're extending that weekend. We do hope you're going to have a great weekend as well while you stay safe. When you consider everything that is happening or is expected of us with COVID protocols, but also stay safe if you're going to be traveling on the roads as well. Speaking of COVID, yesterday was a really big day as we saw the first delivery of the COVAX vaccines. The vaccines arrived in the country just about 11:30 in the morning yesterday. It was 33,000, a little bit over 33,000 vaccines doses that were delivered. And this is definitely a very big step in looking at the rollout of our vaccination schedule so far. According to the Ministry of Health, about 22,000 Belizeans have received that first dose. And as we found out yesterday from the Minister of Health, this 33,000 that's just arrived will now be used to deliver more first doses to people, so more people will get their first dose, and it will also be used to provide that second dose to some of the people from the first group. I imagine that will include healthcare workers as well as the elderly, being the most exposed as healthcare workers and being the most vulnerable as the elderly population. We do encourage you to keep a lookout for all the notifications that the Ministry of Health puts out for when the new phases started, and also when they're going to have pop-up areas where they're going to have a dissemination of the vaccinations. So look out for those. We are at this point in phase 2, and actually moving into phase 2C, which includes people from the tourism sector. They're starting off with people who work in the tourism area, but those who are over 40. That's the first group that they want to capture from 2C. So please keep that in mind when you go out for your vaccinations. And we know that the people who are manning the clinics have asked that you take a form of identification so that they know for sure that you work in the area that you say you do. If you are a teacher, if you are a police, if you are somebody who works in tourism, if you're a media professional, you want to take some identification so that the people at the clinic know that you are eligible to receive the vaccine during this particular time. Really, I think another promising move that we see as we move forward, while we are not out of the pandemic, let's keep on reminding ourselves of this, especially as we head into this weekend. We must consider that as much as we see less than 50 active cases recorded in the country, there are always people out there who may have COVID who are completely asymptomatic, and they can spread the disease to others even though they're asymptomatic. So keep on wearing that mask, keep on washing your hands, and most importantly, keep that distance. It's key for us to be able to keep on staying safe and also keeping our numbers low. Yesterday as well, we also got confirmation. I'm sure everybody knows by now, curfew is extended through to the Easter weekend. In fact, up to April 15th. So this is a very key action being taken by the government to be able to ensure that people are not gathering late at night and you know, having parties and whatnot. And they were already against the regulation, but now we know that the curfew extension and the additional expectation that the regulations will be enforced means that we must be mindful of what is expected of us. And with that, of course, we do hope that we will keep on reminding you, of course, through the course of the show as well, of things that you need to do to stay safe. But we want to start off our show this morning with a bright note. The end of March, yesterday, actually closed off Child Simulation Month. And it is usually a month packed with activities. And we were able to see Niche put off a virtual preschool festival of arts. It is the most adorable thing to see these kids performing what looks like their own house, their own yard, or individually in their school. It's such a great little event, and so we wanted to share that with you this morning.
Believe my country, believe that we me, believe that we you, believe that we all are one. Make a about belief. I love belief. Belief is beautiful. Belief is free. Belief is free by the Caribbean Sea. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps the night. We are Rise up this morning, smile like the sun. Treated a bus, which my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodious, pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. I'm Caitlin Jacob, and I'm a little carrot, and I'm orange and tall. Here in my stem, I grow underground. When you cut me up, don't you shout. Just open your mouth and chew me up. All of me. See my eye, see my nose, see my fingers, see my tongue, see my legs, see my knees. No one sees all of me.
And as we said, that video is courtesy of the National Institute for Culture and History. And you know, you depend on us to start your morning right. What a cuter way to start the morning. Absolutely adorable. But from seeing some very talented little children, we're moving into some motivation that you may need for today. And that means it's time for Or Eye Opener. Or Eye Opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. Finding joy and reason in mundane tasks can shift the flow and make it not so bad after all. Spending an afternoon working on the car, gardening, or even cleaning the house can be fun when we have an interest in the project. Yet, we can also find joy in the chores and tasks we don't especially like. All we need is a change of attitude, a different approach, or some help from friends, and the tasks or responsibilities that we perceive as tedious can become a source of pleasure. Most of us tend to put off what it is that we don't want to do. Yet one of the best approaches to an unpleasant task or dull chore is to dive right in and be fully mindful of what it is that you are doing. Playing your favorite music or dancing while you work are just a few ways to turn an unexciting activity into a fun event. Ask a friend to help you clean out the basement or paint a room. Provide some yummy snacks as an incentive. Look for joy in doing your mundane activities, and they'll become a source of enjoyment rather than a tolerable duty. There you go. So something you've been putting off for today. These are the, I think it's helpful advice for me as well. When there is something that you don't like doing, I know house chores is always to the top of that list for most people. You put it off. You find a lot of reasons not to do it. But, I mean, you always know you have to get it done. So whether it's going to be late at night, early at morning, when you're tired, when you realize that, there's no other excuse that can be made, you still get around to it. So the Eye Opener has some great tips for that. And it can extend beyond household duties. It can also be in tackling some of the things that you have to do at work, tackling some of the things that you have to do with the family. Maybe it's maintenance stuff in the house or car or yard. But so the idea is to just get doing it. That's all you got to do. All right, so that is Or Eye Opener for today. And we're going to try to get the weather online for you so we can be able to, we do have her. We have Angelia Guy with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Not too bad. Very interested in today's weather update. Angelia, tell us, what is it going to be like for the Easter weekend?
Okay, we're expecting a gradual increase in moisture over the area. Yeah.
So that starts today. What is today going to look like?
Okay, well, today we're expecting generally fair and warm weather with only isolated showers developing. And then currently there's a cold front that had entered the Gulf of Mexico yesterday that's now over the northern or northern Gulf of Mexico, moving across the central Gulf. And so as this front nears the area, it will lend some moisture to us.
All right. And the winds?
So, in the for the 24-hour forecast, apart from today, we're expecting few showers to start over the north this evening, and then a few showers and possible isolated thunderstorms near coastal areas tonight.
Oh.
And with the front, it will bring some strong winds along with it. So for today, we're expecting winds from the northeast, 5 to 15 knots, and then tomorrow it gets a bit stronger.
Okay. And our temperatures for today?
Okay, high temperatures today will reach near 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 96 inland, and about 79 in the hills.
And for tonight?
Tonight, the low temperatures will fall to about 74 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 68 inland, and 62 in the hills, so a bit cooler than the past night.
So let's break down this extended forecast. We're going to start to see the rain coming in the north tonight. And then what does tomorrow look like?
Okay, so it won't be too rainy, just expecting a few showers over the north this evening. And then for tomorrow, we're expecting a few showers and isolated thunderstorms to start mostly near coastal areas tonight and tomorrow morning. And then spreading over most areas of the country tomorrow, especially over central and southern areas.
Are we talking a lot of rain tomorrow?
And not a lot,
So,
but mostly probably on and off showers.
okay. And some sunshine in between?
Yes, should.
And then what about the rest of the weekend?
Okay, for Saturday, we're expecting maybe cloudy conditions, but rainfall will be mostly offshore on Saturday.
And on Sunday?
Okay, Sunday, we're expecting a further increase in moisture over the area.
Countrywide?
Yes. So we might be getting more rain into the early next week.
All right, so that rain that starts on Easter Sunday continues into Monday?
It looks like it right now, yes.
I can hear that you don't like being the bearer of bad news.
No. It's just that the further we go out, the less accurate the forecast becomes.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, we were told from very early on, you guys were on point, that Easter weekend wasn't looking like it's going to be sunny and bright. And I guess the good news is that it isn't going to be continuous downpour.
Especially for the early part of the weekend, we expect some sun, yes.
Okay.
Also rain.
We'll take that as our silver lining. Thank you so much for that update today, Angelia.
You're welcome.
You have a great day and Easter weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye-bye. So there you have it. Cold front in April, making its way north of us. We're not going to have the cold front pass over us, but it is going to bring showers into our area, which means that we will be seeing some rain. They're very clear. They're saying at least for Friday and Saturday, it's going to start with isolated showers. The north might see some of these isolated showers from tonight. And then on Sunday, we're expecting a bit more rain. And that continues into next week. But you know what? You have 4 days off. Have some fun with your family, even if that means you're going to play in the rain. All right, we're going to get moving into our show for today. And we're starting off with a conversation about autism. April is celebrated as Autism Awareness Month. And so they have a whole lot of activities that are coming up in April. And we're going to get the details about it, about the work that's being done to help to support parents and children who are autistic, and find out more from that particular group. Then the second part of our show, we're going to be joined by Nayeli Yakab from the Benke House of Culture. And they are going to be having a tribute to life using the beautiful colored sawdust in Benke on Friday, on Good Friday. So we're going to talk to her about what's the plans that are going into that and how people can check it out. And then Good Friday. I hope you got your fish already, because we know that's what's on the menu for everyone across the country. And we're going to have your favorite chef stopping in to share with us some great fish recipes. So Sean Quelan's going to be with us at the end of today's show, and he's going to be cooking up a storm, as Sean always does, and helping us prepare some delicious fish recipes. So that's what we have in store for today. But before we go to our break, we got a big, big birthday shout out today. And it's not an April Fool's joke. It is actually his birthday. We're saying happy, happy birthday to John Palacio. John, you know, every year you say it's your birthday. We always say you're joking, because that's just the guy you are. But we know it is your special day today. Do have a fantastic day. I know you're headed off to enjoy the weekend with your loved ones, and we wish you all the best. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Autism Awareness Month. So please stay tuned.
If we are only a as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us. Then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something. The Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Es un hecho que puedes obtener servicios ilimitados con Smart. ¿Cansado de que se corte la línea cuando más necesitas estar conectado? Es un hecho que cuando te suscribes al plan de Smart Plus, obtienes llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Y también es un hecho que te puedes suscribir con un grupo de 5 miembros al plan Smart Share y hasta 40 miembros al plan Smart Enterprise para llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Smart tiene los verdaderos planes ilimitados. Es un hecho. Sé Smart y vive de forma Smart.
Hola, Tony.
Hey Kevin, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué pasa?
Nada, le vine a buscar porque necesito comprar más mercancías de vasos y platos desechables para mi tienda de comestible. Me estoy quedando sin esas cosas.
No, hombre, fíjate que desde el 15 de abril no puedo importar nada de eso. Y se me acaba de terminar todo lo que tenía hace como 3 semanas.
Oye, pero nunca has estado sin esas cosas. ¿Qué está pasando?
Mira esto. Esta es la nueva ley que prohíbe todo el uso de plásticos no reutilizables. Esos son vasos, platos, cucharas, tenedores, todo eso. Desde 15 de abril de este año no he podido importar nada de eso. A partir del 15 de enero del 2021 nadie puede fabricarlo. 15 de abril 2021 nadie lo puede vender. Y a partir del 14 de julio del 2021 si alguien te agarra con eso, te multan.
Híjole, no sabía eso. Necesito cambiar algunas cosas. Les diré a mis clientes por qué esas cosas ya no están disponibles. Gracias, Antonio.
Así es, cuídate.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
And welcome back. And we're moving into our first conversation for today. As we told you, April is celebrated as Autism Awareness Month. And so we're going to be finding out from representatives of Autism Belize just what activities they have planned and some of the work that they have been doing. We have with us Jessel Stephen, who is the Director of Projects at Autism Belize. And we have Stephanie Bradshaw, who is the Secretary of the Board of Autism Belize. And also joining us, we have behavioral therapist Cindy Rosado. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So, you know, it's really important when we talk about autism that we can set the backdrop so people understand what it means when we say that a person is autistic. So let's start with you, Cindy, that you can be able to explain what that means.
Sure. And exactly, Marlene, I think it's so important, especially because we're not talking about a physical disability. So it's not something that we can identify by walking down the street and knowing who is or is not living with autism. But when we talk about autism, it is a developmental disability that can cause significant communication, behavior, and social challenges. A person with autism may communicate, interact, and behave differently than most other people do. And their thinking, their learning, and their problem-solving abilities may range from gifted to severely challenged. Hence, we talk about it as a spectrum. Mm-hmm. So yes, in a nutshell, that is what autism is.
And to be clear, when you say spectrum, it means like it's either very mild or very severe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from someone who may be able to talk and interact and go to school, but just be
To someone.
to someone.
Yes. Who may need support for maybe the rest of their lives.
Okay. Now, autism is one of those disabilities that has gotten a bit more attention now, especially in Belize. And I wanted to bring in Giselle and Stephanie to talk about the establishment of Autism Belize and how you got involved. Let's start with you, Giselle.
Sure. Good morning, everyone, again, and morning, Belize, and thanks for having us on. Autism Belize was founded about a year ago by Christy Almeida Castillo. She was away for a while, and upon returning to Belize, she realized that there was a lack of support in terms of talking to each other and helping each other, and that's the basis of how Autism Belize was founded. And it's a group of parents who are passionate about autism simply because their children are diagnosed on the spectrum. But I would point out that it's not the only special needs that we have in our group. We do have parents whose children are differently abled as well, Down syndrome, for example, right? So it's kind of all encompassing. While most of it is autism related, we do have other special needs parents, children that are part of the group. We do a lot of training, and COVID has really helped us to kind of capitalize on these virtual experiences. So in the last year, we've actually accomplished 14 guest speaker presentations, 7 sensitization talks, and 9 trainings. And our trainings are twofold. It's not just for parents in terms of helping them with things like depression, early intervention, symptoms and signs, but it's also for professionals. So teacher trainings, special education needs trainings is also done. And we have found that quite a number of not only teachers, but even people within the field. So for example, Inspiration Center workers have also signed on to our training. So in a nutshell, we're a group of about 30 members.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We do have men in the group as well. I want to point that out as well. It's not just us ladies that you're seeing, but the fathers do play a role as well. And we basically meet once a month as well to sit with each other and just talk. Talk through our issues that we have faced over the last month, how we've dealt with those experiences so that maybe somebody else can learn from it. But as Cindy mentioned, it's a spectrum indeed. So what may impact my child may not impact Stephanie's child, right? And so sharing as well helps us also to be educated. Our main goal is to teach autism, and that's why we have our trainings. We also want to promote awareness, which is why we have our Light It Up Blue campaign. We also want to help to show acceptance, and also we want to give support, and that's where our monthly support group comes in.
Yeah. So you and Stephanie both have children who are on the spectrum.
That's right.
Okay. And your little one is how old and how severe?
So Eric is 7. Eric was officially diagnosed about 2 years ago as severe, which is level 3. Even so, however, I can't keep emphasizing how much of a spectrum it is, because at level 3, I can see the way he interacts is different from somebody else also diagnosed on a level 3. Eric is very strong with words. While he may not be able to formulate a sentence, he is gifted at spelling huge words that my 5-year-old at the time could not spell. At 2, he was spelling words like butterfly. So while he's somewhat nonverbal in that sense of not constructing a sentence, we do work on speech therapy to help him to develop his words and to put them into the right context.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Now, Stephanie, tell us your story.
Thanks, Marlene. So I, like a lot of other people, heard about autism, but I didn't really know what it meant. My child is now just turned 5, but as a new mom, I was following all the developmental stages, and he's eating everything. He's grabbing for stuff. He started to crawl, to walk. He actually did a lot of things very early. Started to walk at 9 months. but then he didn't meet his communication goals. And I started to get, at 12 months, he should already be saying mama, baba, things like that. And he wasn't doing that. And then it's like 12 months, 18 months, we're approaching the 2-year mark, and he's still not speaking.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm getting concerned. So that's when I go to Dr. Google, as we all do. And that's how I even started to consider autism. And so I went to his pediatrician, and there is a severe lack of services in Belize. So it's like, where do you go? And so I went to his pediatrician, Dr. Eck, and he helped to guide me through, all the tests and stuff that we did early on. We checked his brain, like they did an MRI and such. But so Liam is what's considered mildly autistic. He's a pretty amazing child. He struggles with social skills. He's come such a long way with his communication. I mean, just last year, he was doing 2 to 3 word sentences like, want yogurt, want banana, want my tablet. Now it's like full on, mommy, I need to go to Marab, Marab is his favorite store. So it's like, he's come such a long way with his communication. But, he still struggles with social interaction and such. But this group has been such an important part of my life in the last year, because it's a very isolating experience being an autism parent.
I could imagine.
Being able to find a group of parents who understand what you're going through has been so wonderful for me.
Cindy, I think Stephanie pointed out just the lack of services, and this is perhaps one of the key areas. Being able to diagnose a child on the spectrum is just the first step. It's also all the additional treatments or therapies, I should say, that can help them cope in an everyday world. Let's talk about where we are today and where we need to get.
Definitely. So I think it makes sense to first let me talk about a little bit about the struggles that I encountered first coming and starting my role as a behavior therapist here in Belize, where I definitely found that while I was able to provide that one-on-one support for the child, we fell short in the area of providing support for the parent. And I very quickly learned that that was something that was desperately needed, because whether it was support for to listen to other families who are sharing similar experiences or similar struggles, or whether it was that they needed some training on how to follow up with recommendations that I would give after working with a child. Definitely, I feel that what Autism Belize has come to do is to bridge that gap. So where now I feel so confident in being able to work with a child and being able to refer parents to Autism Belize, because I know what they're going to get, whether they're looking for support from other parents, trainings. So I'm very happy with the progress that we have made since then.
Okay. And when you say therapy, what are you offering to the children? And why is it important that they get, I hear speech therapy, behavioral therapy, sometimes it's helping them to develop their motor skills as well?
Yes. So I'm a certified behavior therapist, and I specialize in providing applied behavior analysis or ABA therapy to children who have been diagnosed with a developmental disability. So not necessarily autism. We're talking about ADHD, Down syndrome. And what happens is the child comes in, we do a developmental assessment, or if it is that the child is displaying characteristics of autism, we would do an autism screening. If the child shows any signs of autism, at that point, I do recommend early intervention, which ABA is a form of early intervention. So what we do is we intervene very early on.
Yeah.
We do an assessment to identify both strengths and weaknesses, and that is what we work on. On the child's weaknesses, we develop an individualized ABA plan for the child, and then we set goals. And then throughout the therapy sessions, we meet goals, we build on goals, and in a gist, yes, that is what I provide.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear this all the time with differently abled persons, whether they're children or adult. Focus on what they can do versus what they can't do. And so that's, I imagine, very difficult when you have children who, and it's really, for a lack of better term, who appear normal. So you put them in a school system, they don't look physically incapable of doing anything, but because of being on the spectrum, they just process differently. What's that like from your end, parents, when people, and we know our society, they're so judgmental of parents. So when you have a child at 2 and talk and they say, oh, you do this, you do that. Stephanie, I'm sure you got that. Or Giselle, if your little one has a tantrum and people are on the outside looking and they just don't understand.
Yeah, I've had tons of stories with this. I'll give one that happened, I think it was Christmas 2018, I believe. That was when Narab again. They had just opened their new store, and so it's Christmas time. Liam at this point is 2 years old, or almost 2, and typically developing kids would love to go out and see the lights. The crowd energizes them. They want to see the toys. So at this point, autism isn't on my radar. I take my child out in the midst of these crowds, lots of lights, lots of noise, music blaring, kids screaming. It's fun for them. Then my child has a massive meltdown in the middle of Narab, Yeah. And the looks I get, it's like, oh, she can't control her technique, or, like what, and then that's so embarrassing. So like that time there, I responded negatively, because in my mind, it's like, why he can't do what everyone else is doing? All the other kids are having fun here. But now I know he was overwhelmed by the light. He was overwhelmed by the noise. So it's like, I've come such a long way. I've grown so much as a parent, understanding his needs and challenges. And I know it's difficult for other people to understand, which is why we do the work that we do, trying to build awareness, trying to get other people to understand he's not a bad child, He is really just having some difficulty dealing with the stimuli around him.
Absolutely. Giselle, tell us about experiences that you've had.
Well, for me, I think I kind of knew from the onset that Eric, there was something different. He's the third and the last baby. So, of course, you kind of always compare the milestones. You look at your the children, you say, oh, but my daughter walked at a certain age and stuff. So I had that, there was that nagging thing, despite him being a preemie. But so it was pretty early that Dr. Eck said, we need to be thinking along these lines. He wasn't even quite a year yet when Dr. Eck mentioned maybe, I don't want to label, but we have to be thinking. And of course, that's set my husband and I on a whole different trajectory of research and watching YouTube videos and everything. So for me, Eric is gradually progressing to different symptoms as he gets older. Because at first he had no issue with crowds, right?
Yeah.
But now, as he's 7, yes. At 3, 4, quite fine. Now, I guess he's more sensitive to it.
Yeah.
We have issues. I had an issue in Marab too. I mean, it wasn't as bad as a full meltdown.
Yeah.
You can see the triggers happening.
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, there's a moment of panic within you as well as to how people will react to you, how they will look at your child. And for Eric, when he reaches to that point, he gets very physical. So he would hit and scratch and bite. And so sometimes it's hard to control him. And I really have to give kudos to my husband. I was alone that day in Marab and I called him and said, you need to come for us like now. You know, my husband has been a great source of strength in helping with that area as well, in helping to control some of that behavior. You learn to recognize the triggers, as Steph said. You know, she's matured in her journey as an autism mom, and you learn to see the triggers, and sometimes you have to walk with like your little, I call it my little tantrum kit. I have his favorite juice, his favorite chips, things that will help him to calm down and you know, not be so cognizant of his surroundings. But as Steph mentioned, that's why we're here today as well, to bring that awareness. We realize that we honestly can't stay in our shells when we do it to protect our children, but ultimately, unless we educate and allow people to learn and to then have acceptance, only so we can have a kinder belief.
Such a critical point that you're making, and I love that you made that connection. That's why you're on the show right now. That's why you have, the Light Up Blue campaign.
Right.
The more people know, the more, the less you will have that feeling of panic that you'll be judged or your child will be judged for reacting to things around him. And when maybe somebody sees a child in a tantrum, they don't automatically think bad parenting. They may think this child is either special needs or you know, not have the type of reaction you normally see. Right. Since the Autism Belize and since the awareness activities, I know you've gotten quite a bit of support with people wanting to participate in Light Up Blue. I think there was a Blue Run scheduled at one point as well. Has this helped in building the awareness?
It certainly has. I have to, at this point in time, big up Belize in particular. Belize is one of our partners in the Light It Up Blue because we're asking our businesses, our residents, to light up your homes blue. And Belize and Habit will have these bulbs, these blue bulbs on sale, 20% and 15% off respectively. So go out, buy your blue bulbs. Just for the month of April, we're asking you to light it up blue. Traditionally, Light It Up Blue is on the 2nd of April. And this is the first time that Belize is really doing it. So we want to do it different. We want to go all out and just do it all April. We're asking you to light it up blue, light your building, your homes. Wear blue every Friday in April to show support, like I'm doing. And I see Cindy has on her blue, and I think Steph has on some blue stripe. Blue. And blue simply symbolizes a calming color for them, right? And when you do this, when you wear blue, when you light it up blue, take a picture, post it on Facebook to help us spread the awareness. Tag Autism Belize, hashtag Light It Up Blue BZE. That's all we're asking in terms of it. But going back to your first question, Benny's, if you go to Benny's Facebook page right now, we felt it was like an Autism Belize takeover on their social media. They had our cover photo was their cover photo. Nice. So Shine a Light on Autism in Belize became their cover photo. Yeah. So in addition to them promoting their blue bulbs, they also did a little blurb on what autism is. Fantastic. And that kind of warmed our hearts because, hey, this is what we want. We want to stimulate that conversation. We want to provoke thoughts that autism is in Belize. It's here. It's prevalent. Yeah. We have parents affected. We have children affected. We have communities affected. Yeah. So the Light It Up Blue campaign, basically, that's how you can participate with us, show support, and learn more as well. AutismBelize.org has a ton of information, a ton of resources. And if there's any parent out there that feels the need to make contact with us, please don't hesitate. Go to AutismBelize.org and make contact with us either by email or click the WhatsApp button, right?
And it's also extended to the public as well. People can wear blue to participate.
Yes, that's the whole idea. You light up your homes, you wear blue. show off on Facebook. We'll be happy to share as well and amplify the message of awareness and acceptance. The walk that you mentioned actually is still going to be on. We have a walk for autism on the 10th of April. And that's in conjunction with Karen Rosito. She's been doing these walks for quite a while now and raising funds for I think the Kidney Association she did recently. And so we reached out to her and Karen was so excited to work with us. So on the 10th of April, we're asking you to come out and join us at the BTL Park. Get there for 5:30. It has 6 a.m. on the calendar, but trust me, come out there for 5:30 and you in for some surprises. But the walk starts at the park. We go to the Belize sign at the lighthouse. We come back, we do some exercises, and we share some prizes as well as we share information. Sahicor will be also joining us on that walk because they have agreed to give us a donation, which we're so grateful for. So we want to thank you to Sahicor as well. Then we do have, we want to educate as much as possible. So there are a few businesses that have said, come in and talk to us, whether virtually or in person. So we do have EL, we have the Rotary Club, where we sensitize their members and their employees on what autism, right?
And you have yoga.
We have yoga on the 17th at 10 a.m. This is going to be live on our Facebook page.
Yay.
And this is, I really enjoy this. I've done it a few times with Eric, and while even it might be like 5 seconds, hey, at least I can do yoga with him, right?
And the dance as well.
We do have a dance with modern dance movement, and this is going to be a class for parents and their children, but it will be a Zoom class. So we're encouraging you to go to our website as well and register for that. We have a church service on the 11th. This is where you will, in conjunction with St. Martin's Parish, so you can log on to their Facebook page as well as ours. And this is where you actually meet our children. You'll meet our courageous parents as well. So tune in at 9 a.m. on the 11th for that acceptance church service.
You know,
go ahead, Marlene.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking of all these activities and the opportunities that people have to learn. You know, is it possible that there are parents out there who have autistic children and they don't know? Cindy?
They do. They do.
Yes, definitely. Yep. Yeah. There is. Mm-hmm.
And how would you know to go the extra step to check? Because you said again, from mild to severe, so maybe they have mild autism and they can't understand their children.
So what I would definitely recommend is for parents who have any developmental concerns about their child, and this can be as early as 14 to 18 months, and this can be in all areas of development. So we're talking communication, behavioral learning, to definitely go in for a consultation. It could very well be that there is nothing to be concerned about, but again, I always encourage parents, the earlier the better, because as we know, there are certain foundational skills that are needed in order for children to build more complex skill set. And so the longer we wait, the more difficult it is for the child, and we're doing a disservice to him or her by just waiting and hoping that they will grow into it, or that they will just start developing the skills on their own. So it's always better to get some professional guidance if there are any concerns whatsoever.
And if I may just do a plug for Cindy here. So right pre-COVID, like right before COVID hit, Liam was getting ready to reach preschool age, and I knew it would be a whole new environment again, along with kids who doesn't know, teachers who doesn't know. And so I worked with Cindy from January to August, leading up to 2019 start of school year, September. And it was such an amazing transformation that we saw, because this little baby, he could not sit down and focus and stuff. And so those are the kind of things that Cindy worked with Liam on, being able to sit down and focus and know, yes, you want to get up and run around, but hey, you got to listen to when teacher is talking. So yes, we have limited resources in Belize, but the little that we do have is so important, and it can be so beneficial to parents and children.
And some schools do allow for children with autism to attend, sometimes with a special aid, right?
Yes.
That's correct. Liam, so when we went in 2019, he was allowed to go in with his aide. The picture you're seeing right now is Liam's aide. Her name is Isabel. So she has been an important part of his journey as well. She goes to him with therapy to learn more, and then she attends school with him just to make sure that he has that support.
Yeah. And Giselle, for you, Eric goes to Stella Maris?
That's right. Eric goes to Stella Maris. He started September 2019, and then COVID hit in March. So he's had just about 6 months of school in terms of in-person, and the rest has been online.
Yeah. Now help us understand. I know you work so hard. I can hear why the need for a support group as parents is important. And you guys have had your guest speakers where the public and teachers can chime in. What would you want to see different in Belize to help to feel like your children can be better accepted?
Steph, you want to
Autism, it's a scary thing for parents, but it's like once you get in there, you understand it's like they're not sick, they're just differently abled. And the best way to help our kids is not to change them, but to change us, right? We would like people out there to understand when they see a child out there having meltdown, it's not the parent's fault. Maybe you can offer a hand. So trying to impact people's attitudes, behaviors, and most importantly, the support that we can get in Belize. Those are the things that we are trying to affect. Okay. Joe, you had anything else?
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail right there on its head. But one of the things for me, Steph has been really blessed in finding an aide that worked for her. There are no trained aides, so to speak. That is something that's lacking. So finding someone that meshes with your child's abilities is so important for them to have some sense of normalcy. So when changes happen, they can easily adapt.
Yeah.
So that along with, and I'm talking here more in terms of resources that are needed. I know you mentioned acceptance, I'll get to that, but occupational therapy is something that's very important for them to develop necessary life skills to truly function in society. So learning to button a shirt properly. It's not as easy how you teach your other kids as opposed to a child that's on the spectrum. There's a certain art to it as well. So things like that, we still have a long way to go. But in terms of acceptance, I think first of all, we need to do our part. We need to be more open and understand that judgments will happen. We honestly cannot control all the judgments, but if we continue to educate, that is where we will see the gradual changes and acceptance. And as Steph said, if you see us having a hard time with our child, offer a helping hand. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right? But Marlene, I just need to highlight one more thing that we're doing.
Okay.
We have, we're talking about educating, and we have a younger generation that also cannot be forgotten in the talk of education. And so we teamed up with an influencer called Captain Kalo to do a dance challenge. And this is a dance.
Oh.
Right? It's already trending. And so we felt, hey man, it's trending. They're doing it. Just do it for autism. And so he actually did a video of the dance. It's posted on his TikTok account. It's also on our @AutismBelize TikTok account. And we want to challenge you. I don't know if you guys have it ready to roll. That's fine if you don't. But it's already on Facebook. It's already on TikTok. So we're asking you to wear blue, do the challenge. It's just about an 11 seconds video. Continue to raise awareness. So I'm challenging Marlene and Ridley and Cindy. Cindy's already dressed in her blue scrubs to just do this dance and raise awareness for us. Also, we really want to thank the businesses that have decided to go blue in some form or the other. We are truly appreciative of that support. We have BTB, BEL, DG, Fabregas, Fulltech, City Council, Sahicor, IBC Registry, Chamber of Commerce, Atlantic Bank, Belize, Brothers Habet, Marab, Horizon Academy, Southern Regional Hospital, BFLA Dangriga, AIM Belize Signs, Big Signs Belize and the Orange Gallery, as well as Night and Day. And so our heartfelt gratitude to you guys for just coming on board without any charge to us and helping us to fight and show awareness for a real worthy cause.
All right. Well, clearly you didn't see the last TikTok challenge I did on the show. You wouldn't ask me to do it again. but for a worthy cause, I think everybody's getting on these dance challenges, and it's such a great way. If at least people start to ask, what is autism and what that means? We appreciate you being on the show today. And there are a number of activities that people can get on board with, from the church service to the dance class, the yoga class, the walk, which we know is very popular with Karen, but on that day it will be for autism. And again, I guess the Autism Belize, you all offer educational sessions as well for anyone who's interested.
Yes.
All right.
We do have trainings.
We have a training coming up tonight, right, Joss? I think.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is so important to mention. Yes, this evening, if you log on to our Facebook page, Autism Belize, we have a training with us. It's not really a training, it's more of a presentation. With a speech pathologist from Texas who's been very dear to our children and to us. And he will break down the basics in layman's term. What is autism? So this is an opportunity for you to learn, minus all the non-technical terms, practically what autism is. So that's going to be at 7:30 this evening on our Facebook page.
Autism Belize.
Yeah. And remember to go buy your blue bulbs, light it up tomorrow, and for the rest of the month.
Wear blue every Friday. Well, ladies, thank you
blue.
so much for joining us. And we really wish you the best of luck with your activities coming up. And, we hope that we've helped to have more people understand what autism is and just some of the support that will help parents and children continue to cope. Thank you, and stay safe.
So much.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what's happening in Benke on Good Friday. So please, stay tuned.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Hello. Okay, sure, I'll be there.
Hi, Mommy. When are you coming home? I really miss you.
Hearing the voice of our loved ones can always lift our spirits and make us feel whole again. With Smart's twice as nice promotion, prepaid customers who make 5 minutes worth of national calls on Sundays can enjoy 50% off. Top double on all national calls for the rest of the day. Call your loved ones and enjoy half off all day long. Smart, bringing people together.
Research on the impact of COVID-19 infection on pregnant women is limited. Right now, pregnant women are at higher risk of severe illness than the general population. Pregnancy can affect the way a woman's body handles respiratory infections. If you are pregnant, protect yourself against COVID-19. Wash hands frequently using soap and water for at least 40 seconds. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not available. Cover cough or sneeze with tissue and throw used tissue in a bin. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces such as doorknobs, counters, phones, and tablets. Practice physical distancing. Work from home if possible. Avoid contact with anyone who has fever, cough, and cold or flu-like symptoms. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth without first washing your hands with soap and water. If you have fever, cough, and feel extra tired, call 0800-MOH-CARE. Help keep Belize safe.
Hello Belize. You may not be aware of the new travel requirements set in place by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Passengers traveling to the U.S. must present a negative COVID test or a documentation of having recovered from COVID-19 to travel to the U.S. In light of this, Maya, in partnership with Caring Hands Clinic, have established testing centers in all their municipal airports. Caring Hands Antigen Test Center is operational in San Pedro, Belize City, Dangriga, Placencia, and Hopkins. These testing facilities are staffed by licensed healthcare professionals, including doctors, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. Testing is done using Abbott Rapid Test devices that are FDA approved and made in the USA. The service is safe, fast, affordable, and the close proximity of the centers makes them convenient. Walk-ins are welcomed, but appointments are encouraged. If you would like to make an appointment, please feel free to do so at Make your appointment, get tested, and in 15 minutes, you can get back to your vacation.
And we are back. And, this is what happens when we have Sean Quillen in house running across our camera, so that won't happen again. But we are moving into our second conversation for today, and we are joined by Nayeli Yakab, coordinator for the Benke House of Culture. And today we are talking about how you're going to keep some tradition alive this Easter. Good morning, Nayeli.
Good morning, Marlene.
All right. Now, it seems we have a guest host this morning as well. But Nayeli, I know this has been one of the traditions of the community in Benke. We're talking about what's called alfombras, but it's colored sawdust. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the sawdust tapestries is a labor of love, something that showcases and identifies us here in Western Belize. It's the community spirit that brings alfombras to life. Yeah. And it is laid down in honor and in appreciation of the funeral procession for the Santo Entierro on Good Friday, where many families, youth, and children work on this intrinsic elaboration so that it can be ready for the evening. Some work as early as 1 in the morning, and this is very intense for everyone. However, we have been seized and we have not been able to live this moment. So.
And that's one of the things I wanted to refresh everyone's memory. Let's remember the things we used to do. Benke puts off quite a production every Easter with your procession through the streets. The Alfombras is a part of it, but it usually is a signature event that people head out to Benke for. Are you going to have some version of it, or is the Alfombras the way to still preserve that tradition?
No, we're not having anything similar to what we have been used to traditionally. So the Alfombras is just a small scale, more of an art activity for the community, but it's nothing as close to what we're used to for having on Good Friday.
All right, so what are you doing in place? I guess you decided that you had to keep some tradition going?
Well, it's mostly the community, because we know that we won't have our tradition as alive as we have, but it's always in our hearts, and we are looking forward at a very positive outlook on having and living this moment once again. But the community has been pushing and asking and seeing at what stage are we of bringing this to life. And this is just a tribute to life. It's mostly to get inspired and engaged while following the safety protocols. So this is a labor of love, a tribute to life. It's art from the heart. So we're having about approximately 10 groups that will be scheduled from 5:30 in the morning. And they will be allotted an hour and a half, 2 hours the max. We can only work with 2 groups at the Centennial Plaza to follow the safety protocols, because it wasn't an easy process on getting and being granted legal permission.
And so, it's the community that helps to put it together?
Definitely. It's always the community spirit and the spirit of volunteerism, because financially we are challenged to bring anything on board.
Yeah. And so how do you pick the design that you're going to do?
Well, everybody's responsible for their own design. So we don't really know what, some people do their freestyle, some have stencils, but right now we are just going to be surprised with the elaboration that is going to be taking place tomorrow.
Wow. It really is amazing to see. And I know seeing it on video, it doesn't even capture the detail or even the size. You're talking about some of these pieces being as wide as the street itself.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
It's all about how much time and dedication you're going to be making. It takes a few hours. Some people, have 8 hours elaborating on their carpets.
When you talk about culture and how important this is to the culture in Benque, tell us a bit about that and the connections there.
Well, when it comes, it's our mandate, our responsibility. It's also an activity. It's not the main focus of creating our alfombra for Good Friday.
Yeah.
But for us, it's very symbolic because some people, this is the way how they connect. This is the way how they share their sacrifice, because it's not as easy as it looks, you know, being under the sun, working your way to your masterpiece and getting ready. This is the contribution that people are their penance for Good Friday, especially for youths and children. This is the way how they connect and unify.
Yeah. Did you participate when you were growing up too?
Well, at a very small scale, I did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as active as it has been throughout the past years. This tradition comes 20 years ago by Miss Josefina Salas, who's the pioneer of the Benque Alfombras. Now more people have been joining throughout the years, but Miss Josefina Salas really set the ground 20 years ago.
All right, now I have a good friend of yours that just popped in, who seems like he has some questions for you.
Good morning.
Okay.
So I turn co-host now? Well, of course, this is all impressive. I have a lot of questions. All the time, like if you follow my page, it's always about people, food, and culture. And this is everything you're just talking about, food, culture. I know you can't have this thing on the street anymore, but you have to eat. So please, can you tell me about what the culture of food for Easter and the, what is it in Spanish? Semana Santa. Please.
Well, the Lenten cuisine for us is very unique to its taste, and some dishes also are just seen during these times. One of my favorites is, I'm not really into fish, but most people are. But here we're mostly into the Cohun heart.
Heart of palm. Oh, in Espanol es palmetto, right? Palmito. And do you?
So it's prepared like in a soup like. So it really sometimes resembles into meat, like tacos.
Yeah.
So,
truly wonderful.
Yes.
Right?
So that's what people call Cohun cabbage. You know, when we're down south, we call it Cohun cabbage. People call it heart of palm. But you all make it into a soup.
Yes.
That's the beauty about Belize, man. The cultures. It is so wonderful. And also you speak about fish, and we on the coast like Dangriga and Belize City, and we eat snappers and stuff. But what kind of fish do you eat in Benque? Because you're not on the coast, you're in the river.
Well, whatever type of fish they would be selling on the
market.
river
fish. River fish. What I mean is river fish, right?
No, not really. I think that would be mostly tilapias. We would be getting it from people who would bring it here into the market and be selling it on the streets of Benque.
Okay. Tell me about Maja Blanca, man. You don't eat Maja Blanca on Easter?
No. That's mostly for festivities and celebrations.
Hanapishan, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's mostly like dessert. And on Good Friday, you're eating mostly humbly. You're not really that on food, but Maja Blanca does play its critical role in our culinary delight. So we would also be including boyos, chaya. We can also make boyos of the Cohun heart.
Wow.
Really?
Vegetarian.
I really didn't know that the Cohun heart, or the heart of palm, or what people call Cohun cabbage, also was so significant there in the West as well.
Oh yes, very much, because it comes from the heart of palm, which is believed to be very pure.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Well, there you go.
So
Learning.
Since there's abstinence in meat, that would just be perfect blend of having something that would not include meat.
It's truly amazing.
I didn't know that at all.
We learn every day.
You know, Nayeli, it's tough the way we are adjusting to just what we have to do during this pandemic. Last year, if we have a comparison, this year is better because last year we were all on lockdown. So there was nothing that could happen. How has the community reacted to the fact that at least there'll be the beautiful alfombras to participate in for Good Friday?
Well, the community we didn't give any personal invitation. We just popped out the idea, what if we are to have the sawdust tapestries, because from the perspective of planning, well, we had to have several meetings, and one of these the most motivating meeting was one with our new mayor, that he said, once you get legal permission, you can count with support, because having no financial assistance, sometimes it's very challenging, but when the community comes together, they will bring in their ingredients, they will be pitching in and getting it done. So that was very helpful. We had our counselors helping us, and that was very inspiring for all of us. And then once we got several items, we just made a call, and then people were just messaging us, WhatsApp, via our Facebook, saying, what time can I go? Because everything has been working on a schedule.
Yeah.
The coloration process does take its time, and working with hot water and getting the sawdust mix.
I was going to ask that, how far in advance do you have to prepare the materials? Because you color the sawdust to get those bright colors.
Yes, we have to color it. We have to sieve the sawdust first. We collect the sawdust from the Mopan, from the wood stock, so it does take its trip. Why? Because it's the finest sawdust that we can find it, and it's of good quality. So once that gets sifted, then there's the coloration process where we're putting the anialinas. The anialinas come in from Antigua. And then there's the hot water process, which takes alcohol and vinegar so that it could have its chromatic color.
Oh, and that's what makes the color so vibrant?
Yes. Okay. That would assist in the process. And so whenever water is put in there, we also have salt to preserve it so that it's just not running out. The color is not running out.
Oh, so it doesn't bleed. You see, I didn't even think of all of that. So there's a lot of preparation that has to be done before.
It does, but with all the helping hands that we have been getting, and I tell you, Marlene, when we say the voluntarism spirit is up, it is the most motivating part of working with the community. Because this process started on Saturday. So we have been getting our people here, and we have to maintain the safety protocols. We can have an over excessive crowd here at the House of Culture, painting, and we call it our color factory. But people have been very engaged and motivated. So that's the highest spirit that we have been getting, So we know that people are yearning for moments like this.
So for people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And because last year everything was on pause, sometimes we go back to 2020 and we often forget that, hey, it's 2021 and we're going to have a little piece of what we usually have.
It makes us, it reminds us of the slow return that we're making back to some of the things we love. So if people are headed out west, where do they go to see the Alfombras?
We're going to be at the Centennial Park, and we are also asking people, just to bear with us that, we can have a large masses of visitors, and everything really has to be following the safety precautions and protocols.
Okay. Well, Nayeli, we appreciate you telling us all about the work that you're doing there at Benke House of Culture, and it's such a beautiful tradition that you all have there. I know it's not the celebration that you're used to having, but at least you're getting part of it in.
Definitely, Marlene, and then, it's our mandate. We're part of the National Institute of Culture and History in Nature, and as part of the Benke House of Culture, we have to see what we can input, especially to our community that's yearning this, and the support that we're getting, it's very, people are showing their passion, and that's what we have to be encouraging and being unified and to try to work things the best way we can.
All right. Well, thank you very much for telling us all about it. And most importantly, now we know how you use heart of palm. I'm sure Sean will come and learn that soon.
I can't wait.
Well, definitely, you're welcome.
All right. Take care and do enjoy your Easter, and best of luck.
Likewise. All the best.
All right. And there we have it. That was Nayeli Yakab talking about the return of the Alfombras there in Benke. So if you are in the area, you can check it out on Good Friday at Centennial Park. And just as a reminder, I know we're not able to do everything that we normally do this year, but it's a great time to reflect. And so we're going to have a flashback Friday, and then we're going to take you to Benke. And this time it was 2014. where our news team went to document the reenactment of the crucifixion that takes place in Benque, usually every year, on pause for the pandemic. But here's what that looked like.
In many Central American countries, the crucifixion of Jesus has become one of the most religious and spiritual activities to be performed. In Benque Viejo del Carmen in the West, residents, in collaboration with the House of Culture and spiritual leaders, engage in a week of activities leading up to the main event on Good Friday. The tradition, which is the highlight of the liturgical calendar of Catholic churches, has been ongoing for the past 22 years and is used to reinforce Christianity within the populace.
The celebration as such is an event for Benque, no? And it started out that way. No? It was never meant to become an attraction. No? That's how it has evolved into. As you have witnessed, it's a community affair which attracts the young and the old. And we are very intent in attracting the young, especially because we see that as a promise for the continuity of the tradition.
People from across the country gathered to witness the journey through the final hours of the Son of God. At 9 a.m., the dramatization began where Jesus was taken before Pontius Pilate for judgment. Despite pleas made by his mother, his fate was sealed and he was given the death penalty. This was followed by a procession along thoroughfares in Benque, with Jesus carrying the cross, on which he was later to be symbolically crucified. The reenactment was so vivid and evoked many emotions, as Benque residents took on the prominent characters within the scriptures.
We do at least a month of preparation way before, and we have the scripts, and we invite different youths. We have different youth groups, and we invite them to join. Whosoever feels that they have this passion for acting comes along. You want to show people what we believe. You want to make it real, and that happens the same way for Jesus. You can see it in their expressions. We do it over and over, and we need people to see the suffering. We need people to be conscious that this is a suffering that, even though it happened years ago, it's still here. Jesus said, "Do this in memory of me," and we want to bring it down for them. It's basically a meditation on the stations of the cross, each way of the cross, each suffering of Jesus on the way to Calvary. So what we do is bring it live for the people, make the people aware of what the Christian faith is and what we believe in.
A total of 14 blocks leading up to a hill within the church compound. Jesus, along with 2 thieves, were to be nailed to crosses and killed. It was an arduous trek for the persons chosen to take on the respective roles. 20-year-old Luis Mendez, who competed along with his sister in season 2 of Duets, and who, in previous years, had also held other roles in the Passion drama, was chosen for the top character. Mendez was physically whipped and pushed to the ground by soldiers as he carried the heavy wooden cross. This brought the emotions of onlookers to boiling point as the prisoners were mercilessly treated. It is unbelievable the extent of the production and the hours of training invested. For Mendez, endurance was key, and in an act of penance, he gave up his feet.
As I played Jesus Christ, it wasn't easy. You guys know me more as a musician, and you do your acting in another different place, right? So this was another area, an area of sacrifice and, about faith, about growing and letting other young men and young women know about Christ, right? More about his love and his passion for us. 2 years ago, I was the bad guy. I was the priest, the Pharisee, the ones with the long robes and, the big long sleeves, and they're condemning Jesus and telling him, today is your day and you're a blasphemer and we do not believe in you and we are the ones with the truth. Now I play the actual truth, right? So it was like a mirror. It's a lot of pain, Mr. Dwayne. My feet, very exhausted, and I really felt, I never knew the pain that Jesus Christ felt, because his pain is much more than that, maybe 100 times over. But just my feet and the thorns, you know, and the soldiers, they actually whipped me, right? And I told them, you know, don't be afraid, and that's what made the show great.
According to the scriptures, Jesus took his last breath at 3 p.m. In Benque, it marks the start of services held at the church. This is followed by La Procesión del Santo Entierro, a funeral procession. 3 caskets, one representing Jesus, his mother Mary, and St. Joseph, are carried through the streets in a 4.5-hour procession where Jesus is symbolically laid to rest. Up to 40 pallbearers are needed to carry the casket of Jesus.
The processions themselves have been go back to the 1980s, and now the drama itself is going on for 22 years, and it was passed on to the young people in 2008. We took it over, and we've been leading the process. We will be taking 3 floats in solemn processions through the main streets of Benque, which are marked by sawdust carpets that are laid out on the street. And we will be taking the Landa of El Santo Entierro with 40 young men, which we call the Brotherhood of El Santo Entierro. They are the ones responsible of bringing out El Landa from the church out into the streets and take it in solemn procession to the main streets of Benque Viejo. We have the float of Mary, which will be taken by women in solemn procession, and that of St. Joseph, which is taken by young men.
The procession is led through streets marked by alfombras or carpets. Made primarily out of sawdust, the highly expensive artwork takes hours to create on streets. Hundreds of persons gather as early as 5 a.m. and use rice, beans, and even coffee to craft the carpets of a religious nature for the funeral procession.
I started doing this 14 years ago, on the 2001, because that was a promise that I did to the Lord, that I was going to make his alfombras, no? Because he has saved me for many, many dangers, and I have received many grace from him also. And that makes me, feel good to him, not to give something of my sacrifice for him to receive.
The uniqueness of the whole thing is that Benque has managed to maintain some of these events, and we have enriched and made these more adaptable, more popular to the times, because we see that one of the biggest things has been the traditions which are threatened, by all these modern things, So
the intangible culture.
Right.
The week of activities in the West is a unique cultural experience that evidently brought persons from all walks of life together to celebrate life. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Win a backyard barbecue kit this Easter break with your purchase of a 6-pack of Bellikin beer, Bellikin Light, or Bellikin Stout. All you have to do is scan the QR code found on your 6-pack or visit bellikin.bz/win. Fill out the raffle form with your information and the unique 6-pack code, then submit. That's it. The more 6-pack you purchase, the better your chance to win. Drawing date is Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Have a happy and safe Easter break. Drink responsibly.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and and the communities that surround us. Then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something. The Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
And we are back. And as we mentioned earlier, today we are going to be cooking up some fish. And we're joined by Chef Sean Quillen, who is going to be cooking up a lot of stuff. I got to say that much.
Every time. Thank you again, my lady. Well, I kind of honor this time. I'll have you one now to play with today. I could be distant, I could come close. But yes, we're going to play with fish. Easter boy. Again, just now we were talking to Naleli and we heard about traditions. And I always say culture, people, and food, man. It just blends up. And it doesn't matter which part of this country you are. Everybody have a tradition for Easter, for Christmas, for any time of the year, and it always is amazing, right?
Well, when you talk about culture or tradition, we know that the fish market, if it hasn't been crazy all week, it's going to be crazy today because on the menu is going to be fish tomorrow.
It is true, and we always joke around, but it's Fisherman's Christmas. We call that because even the price goes up, you know. It's a little, every year they go up a little $2 and think, what is fine, because it's wonderful. Up north, I was in Corozal 2 days ago, they did chiwas.
What is chiwas?
Stone bass, like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was asking Aleli in San Ignacio or Benke, probably is river fish that they eat tuba or something, you know, it's wonderful. But fish.
So what fish are we going to be doing today?
Today we are going to be making, we have a hagfish here.
Oh, I love hagfish.
Hagfish, the one of those beautiful fish. Hagfish now, these are one of the fish, white and beautiful.
And tasty.
Very, very, very tasty.
Yeah.
And also we have a mutton snapper here.
A mutton snapper.
Got a little black thing on the edges so you could identify it as a mutton right there.
Okay.
People call it red snapper, they call it silk snapper, their cousin. Yeah, so the only me and you, Miss Marlene.
Yeah, it's just us. I love fish, so I am looking forward to it. And are these going to be easy recipes that people can try at home?
Very, very easy. And it not be, you know, when I come and say I will try cook one thing, but it's very difficult. I need Pedro to help me by. All right.
So what are we starting with? The hagfish is already cooking. What did you do with that there?
Okay, everybody right now, they cook at home. They want to do it fry fish, soup. They are making it in a coconut milk. So I said, I can try those, something really different. Today, the star of the show will be like a smoked hash fish. And from the hash fish, we're going to make it in different ways, no?
So that's just a hagfish that you got.
Yes.
And you put that in there, is that?
In water.
In water.
And I put a little bit of seasoning.
You steamed it?
Steamed the fish, right?
How long did that take to steam? That was cooking while we were...
Yes. Quick thing, like 8 minutes, man. But you see that right there? That you could eat that wonderful just like that.
What kind of seasonings did you put in there?
I just put salt, and just salt at the moment, because after this our doctor that we will make another fish later on, which would be the silk snapper. So I could start to ask you for help me one time.
Oh, eat it? Sure. This I could eat just like that.
Yes.
What will I do with this?
I want you to hash it. You could take 2 forks.
Yeah, you gotta.
Easy, my love. Just,
like how you shred chicken.
Just shred it, yeah. Shred or hash.
But how do you get the bone out?
But I want you to see how beautiful.
Look at
you
that.
See the skin, it's the gelatinous, it's the lehe, the gumption, the
Oh.
Very good. So, we're going to make hash fish, we're going to make a steam fish. Because I can't teach you a Belize how to make a fry fish, man. I make it look bad. Everybody know how to make fry fish. You know,
but you could give them the secrets to a delicious one.
Well, people put a little bit, sometimes people flour, people put coconut oil, of course. People put it in soup. Well, you got very many versions of la sauce or soup or broth. In the River Valley, they eat tilapia. In the, what's we culture just amazing.
What's your favorite fish, huh?
This hagfish is actually wonderful, you know, Miss Marlene, because it's not, I'm not lying. Look how white that.
It's delicious.
I mean, wow.
So we can take off the bone now.
Watch how white and beautiful, man. That's the way I like about hagfish, man. It is a presentable fish. That's the word I want to say. Like, you know, to any palate, you know, gotta, well, you know, I don't know, man, we never want to import nothing. So that's a wonderful fish. Good.
And then some people love the fried snapper and
fried snapper. People eat everything right now.
All right, so what you doing over there? I'm almost
Very
done
good.
hashing this fish.
Okay, while the fish is being hashed by Marlene, I'm going over here back to the original broth.
Okay.
So now you see,
So
when we
once
don't
again,
hash
that was just steamed fish and salt.
steamed fish with a little bit of salt. Now, again, I want to make another steamed fish. We'll take the silk, the mutton snapper now. I simply butterfly and make it cock up, right? Don't worry, you look beautiful later. You'll see why I would do that. Black pepper and salt again. In there. At this point, you could put a little bit of acid if you want. Number one acid for fish, lemon. Speaking about fish market and the economies of scale, right? You know, supply and demand. Right now, line at 75 cents each. However, tomato at 50 cents a pound. It's wonderful, true? How things change. Watch out.
Right.
The skin. Marlene did a great job.
Hash fish is ready.
Hash fish ready. Very good.
Get some bones out here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Good. All right. I'll take the whole skin of the lime. No worries. We're adding acid.
So you just put that in there. That was water and salt and
Water,
and
salt.
lime.
Yeah.
You steaming that again?
I got a little paprika, yeah. I got a little herbs, yeah. You see me the Easter egg, them, Miss Marlene? I got the herbs, yeah. I dig up. Yeah? Beautiful. Now, what is steam? Steam is the steam. So you don't boil it. You notice it's not submerged in water. So I'll cover it and tell her later I'll come back for you, right, babes?
No.
Come back later.
It looks quite settled. Now you actually cut it open,
Yes,
no?
a butterfly.
You butterfly. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the cooking term, right?
So beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, Marlene.
Probably
Watch
go
me now,
ahead.
because I will give you a taste in the next 2 minutes and you will say, wow, but then you will say, how did we do that?
I hear the fryer cooking up. I want to know what's happening
Fryer,
there.
they go too.
All right. there-
All right, check it out. Easy.
Tell me.
Coconut oil.
In a hot pan.
Hot pan, coconut oil. Silkgrass Farm coconut oil, of course, huh? Cold press.
Okay.
Coconut.
A squeezy bottle for a coconut oil, all right?
Squeeze the bottle for a coconut because you put it in your hair, you put it in your skin, you put it in your wallet, it can fix your financial problems.
Okay.
Onion.
Uh-huh.
I promise I will be good today, right? That's it. Coconut oil, onion, garlic, sweet pepper. You see, I show you both. It's so.
I love the colors, purple
Trust me.
and yellow. That's Easter already.
Trust me. So I put onion, coconut oil, garlic, sweet pepper. You smell that already?
Through my mouth, yeah.
We will take the same beautiful hagfish. Marlene did that, eh? See how Marlene picked the bone? Boy, watch out.
Well, I don't ever get all of them out, but
Hash fish. What leave bone here?
yeah, I tell you.
Hash fish. Now we want to smoke it. But how we
Smoke it? You don't have a smoker.
Of course I have a smoker. In a Garifuna village it's called a Regi. In a Maya village it's called a Coben. It's a mestizo up north they call it fogon.
Where is your fogon?
This is my fogon. It's got a little technology
Oh,
here.
see, you brought fancy stuff.
Wait man, wait for my salt then. Make a season it, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Coconut oil, onion, black pepper, salt, a bit of cayenne. Right? And then again, this needs some acid, so we take one little lime. Marlene laugh.
No, because you're still finding bone.
No, Miss Marlene, I got one little smoker here, right? I have 2 eggs there.
Okay.
I want to take one of my egg there and find the. I have
We're on an Easter egg hunt.
the one, you know, one of them thing. One of them may be cannabis, one of them may be sawdust. What is sawdust thing there, Benke?
Alfombra.
Alfombra. Esta es el alfombra. Ah, weed. You could smoke with that too, you know? The recipe, I rarely cook with recipe, but this is 10 grams or less. Yeah, good.
Yeah, you might have somebody come after us. So this is, I'll tell you.
Not how we not touch that thing, I don't tell you about
No, it's
this
not.
one.
Uh-huh.
because I knew that Nayeli was going to be on, we're going to cook with alfombras.
Because you want smoked wood.
Yes.
As the flavor. What kind of wood is that?
This is hickory.
Okay.
So we'll take some of the wood, make a koya man, make a cameraman see where they go here. We'll take some of this. We'll put it there. Right?
So this is a smoking machine?
Smoking machine, Miss Marlene. No.
But that's fancy. People can't do that at home.
But at home you don't need it. You don't got, you see, at home they may use a fire hat, Miss Marlene.
All right.
All right. So we are smoke. Miss Marlene gonna be a lead boy here, but
I have a lot of bones left.
Don't worry about that. Because this is live cooking television, we always, you know, this I know.
You tell me hash it, you never tell me debone.
All right, Miss Marlene. Hold here. Hold here. Hold here.
All right. What do we
Hold
do with this?
Hold this to me.
Oh, okay.
Alfombra, yeah? Mira.
Oh.
Mírale. Mírale.
Oh.
Mírale. So you not smell now? You think we're not gonna culture that, Belize?
Oh, wow. You gotta seal it? Does it have to seal properly?
Watch that, girl. Watch that. You infuse the hagfish with smoke. You could have used the next one too, right? But that may make you get happy. Watch that, boy. Watch that, boy. Watch that.
Do you close the pot with it?
I want to close it because I know why you escape.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I want to take it off and lock it. 1, 2, 3. Stay there, babes.
That's it? That's all you have to do?
You are tasted. That's what I tell you just now. Follow me because I know they do nothing special.
Okay, yeah, I smell the smokiness.
All right, very good.
So we got smoked hash fish coming up.
Yes.
With vegetables.
Yes.
All right, we got the happy egg over here. Save that for later.
Happy egg. Later, I'll put some lime in this.
All right.
I could also put some tomatoes.
We got the mutton snapper that's steaming.
Yes.
How's that doing?
Very good.
Can I open it?
You could open it. You could check
So
on.
you could see what's happening. Is it hot?
No, you're not hot. Beauty. Watch that. Oh, man.
Look at her.
Yes.
Don't you love how she's facing the camera?
Oh, yeah. Oh, but this is all theatrics. This is not that was not a mistake.
All right. So we got steamed fish.
Steamed fish and hash fish. That's the theme of today.
Okay.
Now, how we can make hash fish? Many ways. I got maricona here. You don't know what you do for me. If a maricona come, what do you think
I don't think I've done this since I was a kid, but yeah. This is light.
Maricona.
Okay.
That means we're going to make panades.
Panades.
Empanadas. Nothing special. Masa, Libeta, Ricardo. Even Pedro could do it.
All right.
Pum. Right? And they show you the versatility of fish.
Okay.
You don't only have to fry it, you don't only have to make it in a soup. Of course, everybody knows to make panades. I just show you a smoked version of my panades.
These are some small
balls. I like it so because it's cute.
pieces of dough.
Pieces of
masa.
Masa.
Thank you.
Okay, this one here look good.
It's small.
You know what we're doing it one time? Salbutes. Hola, bra. See here? Salbutes. All right.
Do you want them this small or double up? Like you want panade size?
No, man, you have a cute.
Oh, okay.
Look,
this is Sean Keelan's version.
It's gotta look
Not
sexy.
the way you make your panades at home.
You gotta look sexy, Miss Marlene. Come on, stead, Miss Marlene. All right. You see me smoke there, boy?
All right.
Hash fish. Again, nothing special going here. This hash fish, right? I can put a little bit of tomato. I could put this cilantro.
That's it? It's already smoky now?
Well, we are check right now. Wicked, right? Marlene, again, Belizeans.
Smells so good.
Belizean are people that I can't teach how to make fish bars because we eat, like I said, the fish market today is going to be buzzing throughout the country, not care what fish.
So we're making, I thought we were making panades.
Okay, you just have to make one little couple.
A little couple?
A little couple.
Okay.
Not enough, Miss Marlene, unless you're hungry.
Sure.
Stephen,
I got a hungry crew here. I see
Stephen, not here, so I'm not worried too much. All right, good.
All right.
You like pepper? Habanero. You like pepper?
Yes.
Good. I want to recap what all I put here this fish right now because it's so delicious.
So
man.
you got the hash fish in there with onion, sweet pepper, and garlic.
Then, no, I put habanero.
You smoked it?
I smoke them, but if you're at home, smoke it by your fire hot. Smoke it by your, I don't know. Smoke it.
So hot?
Beautiful. Wait, but you have to make some to bananas, you know.
But that's too small.
But it's cute, Miss Marlene. It's cute.
Okay, you make small panades.
All right, make a taste this thing, bye. Sir, what's this?
So what you just added to that was what?
Habanero.
And cilantro.
Yes.
I mean, people see that amount of habanero and they'll be scared. Did you just put habanero? What was the other pepper?
I put habanero. I think that's a serrano.
Okay.
You know what nice in it too? Because we're smoking, this is a smoking Marie Sharp.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Listen, this thing will taste like, oh my goodness. Acid. So, hash fish. Again, you eat panades at home, you know. I know you eat panades at home, and I know. But you don't put enough love like why they put yam in. I guarantee that. You will taste this right now, Marlene.
Okay. I think my duty would be.
All right. Oh, yes.
Time to taste?
Because I
Sign
want
me
your
up.
taste. Where I do, front of your face.
Ooh, all right.
We're not fake, you know. We're not fake.
Let's hope I can get one of the bones.
I'm proud of myself, you know. Proud of myself. Yes. Yes. A freaking hagfish with a little bit of love.
You know what's interesting?
Tell me.
You taste the
Tell me.
coconut flavor and the smoky flavor.
Listen.
In addition to all the herbs.
You just taste a whole village right there by yourself because.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
In a village, you have coconut oil. You cook with coconut husk. As a matter of fact, I should put coconut husk in that smoker.
Okay.
Now, one dish done.
Yes.
From
the
this.
salbutes thing still in there?
Yes.
We should probably take that out.
Amazing, right?
Thank you.
Very good. Marlene, that fish wicked, right?
It's delicious, yes.
All right, darling. You know.
All right.
You know, done? Now the time for make panades.
Okay.
So we're gonna fill a couple of them. We're gonna make a panades.
Okay.
From there, we're gonna make salbutes. From there, we can't forget the girlfriend. We'll make one crostini of cassava bread. And finally, we're gonna make a steamed fish.
Okay, so we want people to see what we're doing here. So you want me to fill it like a panades?
Yes, darling. Go there.
Go ahead. You're the chef.
Wali chup. See?
Yeah, because they're so teeny
But it's so gorgeous. Oh my God. Watcha. Oh boy. I think I have to blame Pedro by my masa he kind of.
Oh, everybody judging you at home. Everybody judging you at home.
Marlene never mash my masa. Boy, you make her look bad for TV.
Alright.
Boy.
Uh-huh.
Ay. Sean Quillen can't make panades. What a mess. Good. Watch how cute. Oh, yes. Cute little panades. You can make one little more, Miss Marlene, one time, please.
2 more in these?
Yeah, or whatever you have there. You see how you like real about my cuteness? Watch how cute this. Now, in every culture, in this, I would have said many cultures have a version of this. Asian cuisine is pot sticker, empanadas, panades, turnover, calzone in Italy. Everybody got a version of this, you know.
Dough filled with something?
And you know, turnover. Yeah, thank you very much. So, yeah, straight in at the fryer again. Look how cute, boy.
All right, here we go.
Look how cute. Are they wait. Look how cute. Beautiful, eh? I'll go back a little bit. Hey, where are they? Gorgeous. You see that? You might say, this is what we call habuliant. It's so stuff that the fish, they bust out at the side. You feel like my pants sometimes when I drink too much stout. Yeah. Marlene, you like food?
I got one.
Marlene. Motherfucker!
I'm trying to salvage these.
Marlene,
Uh-huh.
you like put a lot of fish?
Did I put too much?
Well, the boss is see, but that's fine.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Okay.
That's what happened when
so
you
we
put it on
have,
live
and what
television.
about the salbutes?
See, yeah, they make it for you right now.
Okay.
All right. Salbutes. Ready, Monday. All right, salbutes.
You got your back
See
to the
there?
camera.
2
Nobody
salbutes.
can see you.
Yeah, I can go over the back. I like that only me and you now. Okay, what do we put on a turnover, on a panades, on a salbutes? We need a pickled salsa. I went to the market. The first season, you know where I find? Look where I find. Green mango, they come in a season.
Yes. Did you see the guy that's selling green mango by the bucket?
No.
Traveling around with mango cortado.
Really? Green mango in a season. Coming into season. Right now they got flux, but don't worry, they can get there a little later in our life. So,
it's nice like that.
I want to make one of these salsa, right?
I clearly won't survive in a panades business. There you go.
Marlene's panades. Son of a gun. Don't worry, darling, nobody judge.
I think it's too late for that. All right, here we go.
I can't be host. So. Beautiful empanadas, the estilo de Marlene.
Salbutes, that's safer.
Marlene panades.
Done.
Very good. Don't worry, man. Things.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
So what are we doing with the salbutes?
So
Green mango.
What I'm saying, we're making a pickled slaw.
Okay.
This is chayote, Christophine, whiskill, chocho. This is just vinegar, right? Green mango now, you could taste it in your mouth. They go in your salivation, right? That will make you. Right. For color, put a little bit of carrot. I even have some radish here. I'm gonna leave machina here somewhere. I leave machine. I could take and slice it in there. Some beautiful radish. Look at the colors, Marlene. It's so Eastern-like, huh? Yeah, and they said they're not cuisine abilities, you think so?
So what did you put it in? In vinegar?
Vinegar.
Apple cider?
Apple cider vinegar. You could put a habanero in there. You could put lime juice in there. And we're making a slaw. Now this slaw will be versatile, yeah?
Well, it has green mango, so sign me up.
Isn't it amazing?
And chocho too, also. It's the same thing when you eat it.
You see chocho, again, everybody put chocho in a soup, but you can eat it raw as a salad, you know.
Yeah.
You can eat it raw as a salad, black pepper, salt. Where is your boy? Salt. Where is your boy? Salt again. Where they put your black pepper? Put a little lime. You mix it up for me, Miss Marlene.
Panades in it?
Yes, darling. Venga, panades para acá, yo need domingo. You can order, Miss Marlene. You take a lick.
That's yours to deal with. Let me mix your slaw.
All right.
I don't know if I signed up to be sous chef today, but we're trying to do something.
So beautiful. Oh, you need a little onion.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I smell habanero for sure. It doesn't have.
Habanero,
purple onion.
Everything. Okay.
All right, we're getting those Easter colors for sure.
I think it's time for plate up, man.
All right.
All right.
The mutton snapper, how's that doing? The steam snapper?
That's ready too. So we'll plate everybody one lick. Right?
All right.
Good. Look at this. So good. Poquito más de sal. If you put conch in and pickled pico de gallo, you need ceviche. If you put smoke there, you need salpicón. If you put it just like this, you need pickled onion for salbutes. What a country we live in. You need curtido. You need pico de gallo. Oh, man. Good.
All right.
Your salad is beautiful.
Yes. Looks very Eastery.
We're going to take hagfish panades. Hagfish panades. Right? No. Sorry. Salbutes. You see, you got me to say panades. Son of a gun.
Because you're thinking about the panades that's still in there?
Here I have simply cilantro, olive oil. I put a little lime juice in there. We're making like a
pesto.
Yes, in Italian cuisine it's called a pesto, but in Belize we're gonna like a salsa verde or something. That's so cute, Miss Marlene.
Here we go.
Good.
See? I noticed you didn't put mine in there.
Because the coin, the fry.
Because it don't look as properly formed as
no, but I don't know panades myself. But the coin. And to that, we just...
Oh, you added some cilantro.
Cilantro, right? No, this is a pickled, think about it, you know. Think about it at home when you're here, they put it. Green mango, radish, lime. Man. Son of a gun. Panades. Sorry.
Salbutes.
Salbutes. No. All of this fish come from carnivore. Because if you don't want the stress of the fish market and the drama and a lot of bad word, you could go to carnivore, right? And we have all the fresh fish, beautiful package and everything. So, panades, I could get the same salad. Like I get Marlene Panades here. Marlene like to laugh, you know. Good thing you.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at what these look like. Oh, they're not
too bad.
So bad.
Of course.
You could kind of tell they're panades.
Right?
Right.
Usually for panades we only put onion, right?
Yes. And what are we going to do with somebody's putting in an order for your food already, Sean?
I have some. I went to Carnivore and I found some radish sprouts.
What is that?
Radish sprouts, like a microgreen. This is from a lady out of Ontario Village on the Western Highway. You know, you can find so much beautiful things. So we got salbutes, we got panades.
Oh. And the pesto, the pesto?
Yes, the pesto is coming. Now, garifuna, cassava bread.
Oh, and hash fish.
This is my number one. When I travel for Belize now, this is where I make most, you know. And it's like in Italy again and French, you have a crostini or a bruschetta. But you can take it. You see how much ideas are there, you know? You could make like a what do you call it? An appetizer of hash fish.
Oh my gosh.
And because the cassava bread, you could finish it with some silk grass, farm coconut oil, and a drizzle on it. And remember, I had this wonderful fresh cilantro.
So that's just cilantro, olive oil, salt, and
some acid like lime.
And you just sprinkle that. I mean, you just blend that together.
Yes, and it's like a pesto, but pesto is made from basil. Ooh, this is bun.
Okay.
Take off that fire for me, darling. Next side. Ooh.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah. Why do you do that to me?
All right.
Oh. Good. So finally
so
again, we have that.
You added some vinegar to that.
Yeah.
Salsa verde, that's what you're calling it. Cilantro sauce.
And I could put some on top there. Oh man.
Look at that green.
The green, the chlorophyll. Oh man. I could take and finish it.
I'm sorry if you don't love cilantro, but that is just amazing.
Some radish again from Carnivore there again. And there you have you don't have two wonderful, three.
All right, so we got salbutes with the hash fish, we got panades with the hash fish, and we have, what do you call the cassava one?
Like a crostini or a bruschetta.
Cassava crostini.
Yes.
There we go, with hash fish.
Finally now, we could take the same salsa verde. And we'll take a plate here.
We got some fried corn here.
Oh yes, sorry. Hey, darling, you see what I do without you. I forget we need to make tostadas. Make the tostadas, man.
Same thing?
Two, yeah.
You're gonna get some hash fish on it?
Yeah.
Set it down.
Right there,
All right, go ahead with what you're doing. I'll do this part.
Perfect. You see, it all happens in my mind, you know, but then when I get to doing it in the...
All right. I can't tell you I'll play it like Sean.
No, man, of course you can.
I'll make sure you get a healthy serving.
No, watch me over here. Watch me over here now. Watch me over here. Come on, let me do it thing there. I take the same salsa. The wonderful green, colorful, beautiful, like a pesto-like, right? Now this has acid. This is fresh. This is not heavy. It's not oily. It's not buttery. Again, we're not fry the fish today. We're not make it heavy and we pal it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And remember this mutton snapper that we had?
Sorry, yes, the mutton snapper.
I'm gonna take it
that
over
you
there.
Steamed. You butterflied and you steamed. And oh,
wonderful.
I had a runaway radish. Okay. What else do we add to this?
Some radish or some.
Oh, the micro.
Or you could put some. You could also put some.
Some of the pesto.
Yeah, right here. Again, 4 appetizers, all culturally appropriate, right? 1 application, many dishes. And then I got the fish here.
All right.
I want to take here, right? See me here?
Ooh.
Really go there? Look at the bottom of the plate. Wonderful green. I even want to offset it a bit so you could see that, man. And finally to that we could take all the rest of the gorgeous pickled carrot and slaw and radish.
So that is
right? All I just showed you,
that.
I took one ingredient, right? One ingredient, and I used it multiple times. You're not done yet. I'm gonna put some topping on that. Yeah?
All right.
Yeah?
So we made the hash fish. Once again, you steamed the hogfish, hashed it, fried it up with some sweet pepper, onion, and coconut oil. And you smoked it. After that, you put in some cilantro habanero. And that is absolutely delicious. We made some cassava, crostinis, panadas, salbutes, and tostadas. All of those out of the hash fish.
You know what I do? And then you put this saw, and some pepper saw.
Oh my.
And put the lead head saw. And then I put that saw. And then I take this from here. And you move that from here.
Get that out in front.
And actually, I can put two on there right here, too.
Yes, right there.
Look better here.
Well, they can't see anything but you. All right.
All right, darling.
There you have them.
Sometimes we don't look like we.
New ways to cook your fish. Definitely gonna try that hot fish recipe. And you have the mutton snapper and the hogfish that you used this morning.
Beautiful, true.
Anything else you're making for us? I thought you'd come with a fish dessert next.
Aye, but you tell me I only got a little bit of time and you got me busy the co-host. But it's wonderful. I mean, sorry, Rebecca, just finish up. It is one application made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways, you know. One pickled, remember green mango in a season, and it really turning nice, tarty, sweet. Cassava bread, masa 3 ways, because tortilla corn again. And you could do many more. You could make tacos, by the way. So we didn't do tacos yet. But wonderful, too.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I'm so excited to try that cilantro sauce. That's the one that I'm looking forward to. Of course, I can tell you that the hash fish is absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And while he used his fancy smoker,
you can use your coconut husk at home.
Yeah, and you can use your fogon.
Your fogon,
to be able to smoke up your fish as well. Sean,
thank you.
Always a pleasure. You know what the best part is? I love when we sign off with you because then I get the sample.
Yeah, you know what you love today? Gambling never call and work. So you get more for yourself.
I get double, right?
Well, happy Easter, everybody. If we don't go swim tomorrow, don't worry. We're going to turn into mermaid. You know how that thing go? The culture, I believe, are just wonderful. I love the people. I love going to market, the chaos of it all. The Creole, the bad word, the everything. It makes us
I just imagine how you fit right into
I fit right in there like a hand upon a glove. See what I say the next word.
So it's also, people can follow you online. I know you have a lot of people who watch how you cook. You still do private catering.
Yes, we still do catering, of course. My Instagram page is much more than only food, I must say.
Yeah.
It has merged into people and faces and culture. And it's something I didn't know I would do, but it's starting to work as it is so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a living website, I think.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sean. Can I get to eating now?
Yes, darling.
All right, we'll take that break and we'll come back in a few. So please stay with us and we'll wrap it up. And we have a special Easter greeting coming from Father Jeremy Zippel after the break. So please stay tuned.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
travel requirements set in place by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Passengers traveling to the U.S. must present a negative COVID test or a documentation of having recovered from COVID-19 to travel to the U.S. In light of this, Maya, in partnership with Caring Hands Clinic, have established testing centers in all their municipal airports. Caring Hands Antigen Test Center is operational in San Pedro, Belize City, Dangriga, Placencia, and Hopkins. These testing facilities are staffed by licensed healthcare professionals, including doctors, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. Testing is done using Abbott Rapid Test devices that are FDA approved and made in the USA. The service is safe, fast, affordable, and the close proximity of the centers makes them convenient. Walk-ins are welcomed, but appointments are encouraged. If you would like to make an appointment, please feel free to do so at Make your appointment, get tested, and in 15 minutes, you can get back to your vacation.
Es un hecho que puedes obtener servicios ilimitados con Smart. ¿Cansado de que se corte la línea cuando más necesitas estar conectado? Es un hecho que cuando te suscribes al plan de Smart Plus, obtienes llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Y también es un hecho que te puedes suscribir con un grupo de 5 miembros al plan Smart Share y hasta 40 miembros al plan Smart Enterprise para llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Smart tiene los verdaderos planes ilimitados. Es un hecho. Sé Smart y vive de forma Smart.
Welcome back, and we want to say thank you to Sean Phelan, delicious food there. But before we close off for the Easter break, we do want to bring you a special Easter message. We asked Father Jeremy Zippel, the Associate Pastor of St. Martin de Porres, to be able to share a special Easter message with all of us.
For me, the big word for Easter is joy. Easter is about joy. It's about new life, resurrection, joy, fresh start. And you're probably saying, well, Father, I'm not feeling a lot of joy right now. This has not been a joyful year. If there's anything that 2020 into 2021 has been, it's not a joyful year. It's been a year of pandemic. It's been a year of slogging through it, just trying to make it day to day. It's been a year of a lot of hardship for a lot of people, economic hardship. Our students haven't been able to be educated in many ways. It's been a hard year, and yet Easter is about joy. Well, it's good to remember that Jesus went through 3 days of terribleness, you know. The passion, the cross was absolutely the darkest moment. He at one point cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me? In the Garden of Gethsemane, Good Friday, he says, Lord, take this cup away from me. I don't want it. He is feeling incredible absence of God, incredible experience of not knowing what the next day is going to bring, I believe. He didn't know for sure that the resurrection was going to happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said those things. And yet, at the end of that dark tunnel is light. At the end of that dark tunnel is resurrection. And it's the same for us as Christians and even non-believers to remember that at the end of those darkest moments is when the light starts to shine the brightest. And so I hope we feel that this Easter season. I love Mary Magdalene. I like to remind people that a woman is the first person to find out about the news of the resurrection, and she tells the guys she is the most important person in the world, in the church at that moment when she walks into the tomb on Easter Sunday morning. And And she's distraught. Her world has been turned upside down. She's lost her best friend. She's lost the thing that she was putting her hope in. You know, she thought Jesus was going to be the Messiah, and now it looks like everything is lost. So she walks into that tomb with her head down in tears. And the angels say to her, "Woman, why are you looking for the living among the dead?" In other words, put your head up, look around. New life is around you. Joy is here. The resurrection has arrived. Be not afraid. And then soon after she sees Jesus, and it's a beautiful moment, you know, friends reunited. So I just want to remind all of us in Belize, Easter 2021, to feel the joy, to remember that even though we've gone through this dark period, that God's love is still there, that light and resurrection is just around the corner. That's where we put our faith as Christians. God is with us. Always, always be joyful.
That was Father Jeremy Zippel. We want to thank all of you who tuned in today. It really has been a great show, from learning about autism to the return of some of the tradition back in Benke, and of course some new delicious recipes with Sean Quillen. As we close off for our Easter break, of course, we remind you to get in touch with us at our email address, oye@channel5belize.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OYEBelize. But as we do let you go, we want to remind you to please be safe. We are still in the midst of a pandemic. As much as we will all enjoy the time together with our loved ones, remember to wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. Please, everyone, stay safe. And if you're headed out on the road, take your time. There is a forecast of rain ahead. So as you make your trek down to your beachside place that you're going to be staying, just take your time and get there safely. We'll see you soon on Tuesday morning when you open your eyes to start your morning right. Until then, have a great day and Easter weekend, Belize. Stay safe.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.